welcome to E-Town News, जहां आपको मिलेगा डेली डोज ऑफ बॉलीवुड न्यूज, फैशन ट्रेंड्स, टीवी एंड सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हर अपडेट. A show which gives you the day's lowdown of all the best happenings in the world of glamour. तो इंतजार किस बात का? Let's take a look at today's headlines. किस फिल्म की शूटिंग के लिए रवाना हुई आलिया भट्ट? क्यों जानवी कपूर आई नेटिजन्स के निशाने पर? क्यों पीसी ने कहा लीड एक्टर पर एक्ट्रेस की कास्टिंग डिपेंड होती है? जानवी कपूर को उनकी शॉर्ट ड्रेस के लिए किया गया ट्रोल. जानवी कपूर को सोशल मीडिया पर किया गया ब्रूटली ट्रोल. जानवी कपूर की ड्रेस को लोगों ने कहा स्लीप वेयर. जानवी कपूर को सोशल मीडिया पर जमकर लोगों ने ट्रोल किया. दरअसल जानवी कपूर को स्पॉट किया गया एक रेस्टोरेंट जाते हुए, लेकिन इस आउटिंग के लिए जानवी कपूर ने जो ड्रेस चूज की थी वो नेटिजन्स को पसंद नहीं आई. Janhvi Kapoor opted for a black mini slip dress. She teamed this with a black Prada mini bag and heels. With mid-parted tresses, Janhvi Kapoor finished her look with tinted lips and minimal makeup. लेकिन यहाँ जानवी कपूर का ये लुक लोगों को पसंद नहीं आया और उन्होंने जानवी कपूर को जमकर ट्रोल कर दिया. A social media user wrote, "She seems to be always wearing nightwear." वहीं दूसरे यूजर ने लिखा, "Pulling the dress from everywhere. Then wear at least what makes you comfortable." एक और यूजर ने लिखा, "This is an undergarment." फैशन के नाम पे कुछ भी. It's a sleepwear. Read a few of the comments. हालांकि ये पहली बार नहीं है जब जानवी कपूर को सोशल मीडिया पर ट्रोल किया गया है. Many have previously claimed that she's trying to be the Indian version of Kim Kardashian. दरअसल जानवी कपूर को अनन्या पांडे और शनाया कपूर के साथ स्पॉट किया गया था, जहां एक फैन ने जानवी कपूर के साथ पिक्चर लेने के लिए कहा, लेकिन जानवी कपूर ने उन्हें इग्नोर कर दिया. ऐसे में लोगों ने जानवी कपूर के वीडियो पर कमेंट करते हुए कहा, घमंड तो देखो. वैसे एटीट्यूड के लिए ही नहीं, जानवी कपूर को उनके स्टाइल के लिए भी कई बार ट्रोल किया गया है. ऐसे में देखना ये होगा अपने ट्रोल्स को जानवी कपूर क्या जवाब देती हैं. आलिया भट्ट ने शुरू की हार्ट ऑफ स्टोन की शूटिंग. आलिया भट्ट को एक बार फिर से हुआ एक न्यू कमर वाली फीलिंग का एहसास. अर्जुन कपूर ने आलिया भट्ट को कहा इंटरनेशनल खिलाड़ी. आलिया भट्ट अपने हॉलीवुड डेब्यू प्रोजेक्ट की शूट से पहले थोड़ी नर्वस नजर आईं. हार्ट ऑफ स्टोन की शूटिंग के लिए निकली आलिया भट्ट ने सबसे कहा विश मी लक. वेल यस, आलिया भट्ट आज से अपने हॉलीवुड डेब्यू की शूटिंग शुरू करने के लिए ऑल सेट हैं. और ये देखिए, शूट से निकली आलिया भट्ट ने कार के अंदर की अपनी एक खूबसूरत सेल्फी पोस्ट करते हुए इस बात की इंफॉर्मेशन दी है. आलिया भट्ट ने अपनी सेल्फी पोस्ट करते हुए लिखा, एंड ऑफ आई गो टू शूट माई फर्स्ट एवर हॉलीवुड फिल्म. फील लाइक अ न्यू कमर ऑल ओवर अगेन. सो नर्वस. विश मी लक. जैसे ही आलिया भट्ट ने सबसे उन्हें लक विश करने के लिए कहा, सबसे पहले आलिया भट्ट की मॉम सोनी राजदान ने उन्हें उनकी पोस्ट पर विश करते हुए लिखा, विशिंग यू ऑल द लक इन द होल वर्ल्ड. इसके तुरंत बाद आलिया भट्ट की सिस्टर इन लॉ रिद्धिमा कपूर सहानी ऑल्सो विश्ड हर सेइंग वी लव यू अलोंग विद अ हार्ट इमोजी. आलिया भट्ट के इस पोस्ट पर उनकी हाफ सिस्टर पूजा भट्ट ने भी कमेंट किया, लाइफ इज नाउ मेकिंग पॉसिबल व्हाट वाज एब्सोल्युटली इनएविटेबल. द वर्ल्ड इज योर प्लेग्राउंड एंड यू विल डैज़ल इवन मोर. सो प्राउड. वैसे इस पोस्ट पर जिस कमेंट ने सबसे ज्यादा आलिया भट्ट के कॉन्फिडेंस को बूस्ट किया होगा वो है रितेश देशमुख का इंटरेस्टिंग कमेंट, जिसमें उन्होंने हॉलीवुड को ही अपना होमवर्क अच्छी तरह से करके आने के लिए कह दिया, क्योंकि कैमरा के सामने आलिया भट्ट जो शॉट देने वाली थी. He wrote for Alia Bhatt, I'm sure they have done their homework and they are more nervous. Best wishes, always. Her two states co-star Arjun Kapoor called her international khiladi in the comments section. बता दें, आलिया भट्ट के साथ इस हॉलीवुड प्रोजेक्ट में गैल गैडोट भी नजर आएंगी। वैसे आलिया भट्ट का ये दिन इसलिए भी स्पेशल हो गया है क्योंकि थाईलैंड की रचाया नोपाकरून नाम की एक ट्रांसजेंडर मॉडल ने अपनी फ्रेंड्स के साथ आलिया भट्ट की फिल्म गंगूबाई काठियावाड़ी के पॉपुलर सॉन्ग ढोली दा को रिक्रिएट करते हुए अपना एक वीडियो सोशल मीडिया पर डाला था, जिसे लेटर ऑन आलिया भट्ट ने अपने इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल पर शेयर करते हुए लिखा, लव दीज रिक्रिएशंस थाईलैंड, यू हैव माई हार्ट। इस वीडियो पर एक फैन ने कमेंट किया, बीइंग एन इंडियन आई स्टिल कांट डांस लाइक दिस, दीज गर्ल्स आर डांसिंग सो ब्यूटिफुली। अनदर वन एडेड, यू वन आलियाज हार्ट। यही नहीं, थाईलैंड की फर्स्ट मिस टिफनी यूनिवर्स 2014 रचाया नोपाकरून ने फिल्म से आलिया भट्ट के गंगूबाई कैरेक्टर के व्हाइट साड़ी वाले लुक के रिक्रिएशन की पिक भी सोशल मीडिया पर शेयर की, जिसे सबने खूब पसंद किया है। शॉर्टली आलिया भट्ट के लिए आज का दिन बेहद स्पेशल है।
Don't you know who I am? I'm a star.
प्रियंका चोपड़ा ने बताया, फिल्म के लीड एक्टर पर डिपेंड करती थी उनकी कास्टिंग। प्रियंका चोपड़ा कटरीना कैफ और आलिया भट्ट को मानती हैं कंट्री की टॉप एक्ट्रेसेस। जीले जरा में कटरीना कैफ और आलिया भट्ट के साथ प्रियंका चोपड़ा आएंगी नजर। प्रियंका चोपड़ा एक ग्लोबल स्टार हैं। बॉलीवुड के साथ साथ प्रियंका चोपड़ा हॉलीवुड का भी बड़ा नाम बन गई हैं। लेकिन रिसेंटली उन्होंने बताया कि कैसे इंडस्ट्री में एक्ट्रेसेस को ट्रीट किया जाता था। हालांकि ग्लोबल स्टार बन चुकी पीसी कई फीमेल ड्रिवन फिल्मों में अपनी दमदार एक्टिंग से सबको इम्प्रेस कर चुकी हैं और जल्द ही वो बॉलीवुड फिल्म मेकर फरहान अख्तर की डायरेक्टोरियल फिल्म जीले जरा में नजर आएंगी। इस फिल्म में प्रियंका चोपड़ा के साथ कटरीना कैफ और आलिया भट्ट भी हैं, जो न सिर्फ बॉलीवुड की टॉप एक्ट्रेसेस में से एक हैं, बल्कि एक दूसरे की स्ट्रॉन्ग कंपेटिटर्स भी हैं। ऐसे में अपने एक रीसेंट इंटरव्यू में प्रियंका चोपड़ा ने बताया कि कैसे पहले एक्ट्रेसेस एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट खड़ी रहती थीं और फिल्म्स में इनकी कास्टिंग लीड एक्टर पर डिपेंड करती थी। लेकिन अब सिनेरियो पूरी तरह से बदल चुका है। फिर चाहे बात बॉलीवुड की हो या हॉलीवुड की, एक्ट्रेसेस हर जगह एक दूसरे के साथ खड़ी हैं। While answering, she quoted, "Whether it's Bollywood or in America, what I've experienced is women standing up for women. I'm doing a movie in India now with the two of the top actresses in the country, Katrina Kaif and Alia Bhatt. And the three of us decided we wanted to do a movie together and partner together to produce it. But the idea is, yes, it was very different when I started out. We were all pitted against each other and our casting was very dependent on the lead actor of the movie. And it depends on who is the flavor at that time, and that was a very unsettling feeling." प्रियंका चोपड़ा अब अपने करियर के ऐसे मोड पर हैं जहां वो पूरी तरह सिक्योर है और एक सक्सेसफुल एक्टर हैं। दो उन्होंने ये भी रिवील किया कि एक समय था जब वो काफी अनकंफर्टेबल थीं, लेकिन फिर उनकी चॉइसेस की वजह से वो कॉन्फिडेंट हो गईं और उन्हें सक्सेस मंत्र भी मिल गया। I took on many parts which were female driven. I took on movies that were solely on my shoulders because it was very uncomfortable to have to be the flavor of the season and then not get cast. So, it defines me taking on movies that didn't necessarily always have the big male leads, and it made my career very much my own. Moving to Priyanka Chopra's current projects, वो इन दिनों हॉलीवुड की अपकमिंग सीरीज सिटाडेल की शूट में बिजी हैं और शूटिंग की वो अपनी पिक्चर्स भी शेयर करती हैं, जिसमें उनका एक्शन पैक्ड अवतार नजर आता है। इस सेट से अपनी सबसे लेटेस्ट पिक्चर जो पीसी ने पोस्ट की है, वो भी कुछ इसी तरह की है। With fake blood trickling over her face, the actress was seen enjoying ice cream. इस पोस्ट को प्रियंका चोपड़ा ने कैप्शन दिया, "Ice cream for lunch. Should have seen the other guy." बता दें, प्रियंका चोपड़ा इस हॉलीवुड सीरीज को एवेंजर्स फेम रूसो ब्रदर्स बना रहे हैं और हर दिन सेट से आ रही प्रियंका चोपड़ा की इन फोटोज को देखकर लगता है कि वो श्योरली इसकी शूटिंग एंजॉय कर रही हैं। Coming up on the show, धाकड़ एक्टर अर्जुन रामपाल ने किया जूम से एक्सक्लूसिवली इंटरैक्ट।
Firstly, congratulations on the trailer of Dhaakad. All the glimpses that we got of your character were super, super impactful.
Yeah, thank you.
You seem to be doing like a low octave, husky, menacing situation. How did that sort of come about? And do you usually find yourself adding these little nuances to your characters?
Yeah, you have to, you know. I mean, when you get a different mask to put on and you get a different expression to express, then, you know, I think you can take the liberty and the, have fun in
With it,
creating even, you know, if it's the dialect or if it is the attitude in the voice or, you know, everything. So, I mean, it's just like about putting things together. And when Rezi and I had started working on Dhaakad on a script level, when, I mean, got the script, but when we were reading it and we were going through it, one day he'd come home and we were having a drink together.
All good things happen over drinks.
Yeah, and we were having a drink together, and he said, "It's like, you know," and I was reading the scenes because it was about a month before we went on to floor, and I said, "You know, I don't know," because he like kind of designed the look for him, where he wanted him extremely stylized, even though he comes from the coal mines and all of that. And I was like, he looks very unbelievable to me. And I am a person who loves realism in whatever I do. I want to get a realistic approach to it.
Sure.
And I was like, what can we do? What can we do? And we were thinking about it. And I was like, why don't we do this? Why don't we make him look like that, but let him talk like a person from there? And Rezi loved that idea. And then we bounced it off Ritesh Shah, who's the writer. And he loved it too. And he said, brilliant. So then he took about a week to rewrite the whole thing.
Right.
You know, my dialogue portions. And then he sent it to me and I was like, what have I done?
I've complicated my own life.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, going off from there, I'm very happy that I'm finally able to ask a male actor in this industry this question. You are one of the few leading men right now who's actually taking up roles where somebody else, like another character, is center stage, and you're more than happy to just be there on a set and support that, you know. Why do you think it has just been so hard for the men in our industry to sort of take up these kind of roles and kind of go with it? Because I find this whole like male protagonist, female protagonist thing to be so dated and so archaic. Like, so why are we kind of still stuck on it?
You know, for me, it comes from a very different space. For me, I think the people who I've been closest to in my life have mostly been women. My best friends have been that. You know, I've been very close to my mom, to my sister, you know, now with Gabriella. And so whoever, and my daughters, you know, so even my best friends at that point in time, a lot of them were women. And I just know them. And I know, you know, the level of strength that they have.
Right.
I've seen my mom, what she's gone through. And somehow, I think it was predestined or what it is. These kind of scripts have come to me. If it was a Tehzeeb or if it was, you know, Dil Hai Tumhara, you know, with Preeti, which I was doing, which was more centered around her. I kind of got attracted to doing those parts because I never felt anything like that.
Sure.
It just naturally, for me as an individual, I never felt, oh, this is her film, this is a girl and this is a guy. I looked at it as an equal. Now when I see it from a different point of view, where I say, oh, maybe I took these things so I can articulate it when you ask me a question like this. Before I would be like, I don't know, it's my film also, you know, because I would feel like the woman in it. Would
But
feel
it's
maybe,
true. What you said
you know,
is true. They're equal.
So, I mean, there is nothing to discuss like that. There is no discussion points. We all are equals, okay? There are a lot of times where you know, I'm on center stage and I need a woman to support that, and she does that without blinking an eyelid or thinking anything else. So why should I?
That's the usual set pattern.
Yeah, and so why should I? You know, and I thought that for this film it was so refreshing and unique to have the protagonist to be a woman. If
Yeah.
it was a guy, maybe I would have had problems with it, you know.
Fair, yeah.
But because then I'd be like, okay, I got to beat this guy up at some point in time, you know. But,
There's got to be a showdown.
Yeah, and then but with a woman, I just felt it's going to have a very refreshing vibe to it. I know my daughters will love it.
Yeah.
I know that guys who are in that Gen Z, millennial, you know, who have kind of outgrown this archaic way of thinking, or any man who's outgrown that is going to like it and is
Right.
going to appreciate what a woman has done in this, because I think Kangana's done a fantastic job. The kind of action that she's done is phenomenal, and they're going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully they'll all go in there.
Here's hoping that people take a leaf out of your book then, on that note.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Let's hope so. On the topic of the lovely women in your life, you have always been surrounded by some really strong, really lovely women, whether it's your mother, your sister, your daughters, Gabriella. I want to know, and that's a lot of estrogen, huh? Like over the years. I can imagine that's a solid amount of feminine energy to have around you at all times.
Yeah.
What are the things that you've learned from all of these people? What are the things that you've sort of imbibed in yourself, and how has that really impacted you and sort of changed your life?
Well, for one, I think the level of adjustment and sacrifice that they all make, okay, it just comes absolutely naturally to them.
Sure.
You know, to women. Men are far more selfish as human beings. And that also comes from just constant conditioning in a particular level.
Yeah.
You know, where the man was supposed to be the person to go out, win,
Provider.
and be the provider and all of that. So that focus happens like that. And when you have to be a provider and go out and do everything, okay, even though you're not doing it just for yourself and you're doing it for your family, okay, the approach and attitude towards going and getting it, where men also get very misunderstood, is from a selfish space.
Right.
You know, they're survivors kind of thing. But women are very selfless. Okay, they can take that back seat. They give that support system to their men. Okay, and they're extremely understanding, which is another thing, and extremely forgiving. So these are, I think, three really, really amazing, incredible qualities that women just have within them. Okay, they're selfless, and they can keep a home, and they make a home.
Yeah.
And your home is your temple, which you come back to. And if they weren't there, then you wouldn't have the kind of homes that you go back to and you can unwind as a man and calm down. So through lockdown, through all these things, when I as a man had to do a lot of the chores that, you know, comes so naturally to people who run a home, I realized it's not an easy job. It's a very, very tough job, you know, to look after a child and a baby, and to look after everybody and to listen to everybody's, you know, things. I don't know how you all do it. You know, you all multitask, you all, you know,
I think we were just born with some massive multitask gene, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I think you all were like the hybrid mobile phones, you know, the ones that got all apps in
So we
them.
got everything.
You're filled with apps.
You know, in the same vein, so after the play, actually,
Yeah, and I was
you
like,
did
yeah,
say you
sure.
were very, very careful of her, though, huh? You did say that you were very, very careful around her in some interview somewhere.
No,
I was very
meant,
careful.
no, I said I was very careful with her. See, this is where it gets pulled out of context. Okay, I was very careful with her because I was very scared. I was doing action with a woman for the first time.
Okay.
In that sense,
Sure.
I had to be very careful because I was like, you know, I've always fought with men
Right.
on screen. It's firstly very awkward for me to throw a punch at a woman.
Yeah.
You know, because that's who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I would never be able to raise my hand on a woman. Okay, but to throw a punch at a woman and to do that, it was you know, I had to really psych my mind out
Right.
and become that character. So, and then in that josh, if I come and I do something silly,
Lag
you
gayi,
know, it becomes a bit awkward. So, and she just come out of COVID and she was very weak when
Right.
she came back. I mean, she'd done a whole pile of action before she got COVID. And then when she came to Budapest and we were shooting for COVID, she was really, really unwell and weak. She recovered, but she was still weak. And then we did like about 5-6 days of a lot of rehearsals and training and everything together for the choreographed sequence that we had to do. And I was at that point very careful to say, "Arey yaar, lagvag na jaye." You know what I mean?
Enough, yeah.
But then I got scared because her kicks were like flying all over the place.
Yeah, she really goes all out when she's doing her action.
And she's done a fab job. So that's, in
Absolutely.
that sense, I meant it.